I don't wanna collab, no, unless I hit you up.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be not only a length check, because I need to do one for the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, but I also wanted to offer up 4 tips to length retention for your natural hair. Or actually, I should say my natural hair, because this video is going to be completely based off of my experiences over the years and what I have learned work for me and the hair that grows out of this scalp right here. You can obviously use this information to figure out if these things will work for you, but this is not a how to grow natural hair fast video, because that's impossible, just FYI. Also, before I get started, I did want to kind of explain the difference between hair growth and length retention, because I think that a lot of people use these terms interchangeably, and that is not helpful, especially if you're new and you're learning. It can get confusing. So just so you know, hair growth is your hair growing from your scalp. The hair actually coming from your scalp is your hair growth. And FYI, unless you have some type of medical condition or problem, genetically, hair's always growing. Your hair's always growing. Now, length retention is once that hair has grown out and it's like here at the end, it's how you care for this. It's always growing from here, but how you care for the ends of your hair is going to determine whether it stays strong and continues to grow, or if it breaks off and looks shorter. Does that make sense? And if by chance you are new to my channel, I first went natural back in 2012. I have big chop twice, and then I did a mini chop, and then I shaved an undercut, and then I shaved my sides, and I kept that for a year, and now I've been growing it all out. So I am officially on a length journey, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I've never just let her grow and do her thing and see how long my hair can get. So that is where I'm currently at in my journey. And this is the longest my hair has ever been. And we're going to keep going and see if I prefer it like this or see if I prefer it short. I was going to do the length check first and then make you stay to the end for my 4 tips. However, I want you to actually like me, and I don't want to trick people into watching my videos. So I'm going to give you my 4 tips first, and then if you're still interested in seeing what I have going on here, I'll have that at the end. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you actually like my video. Let's get into it. Now to get into the actual tips. I was going to go in order of importance, but honestly, they've all been super important for me personally. So I'm just throwing them out there and not ranking them in any specific way. The first tip that is probably going to be an eye roller for some is to know your hair. Okay, I honestly would have to say this is probably the hardest part about anyone's natural hair journey. The hardest part is just taking the time and putting in the effort to knowing your hair. Like, just imagine your hair is its own person. She has her own personality. She likes some things. She hates different things. She likes certain things a certain way. Just imagine that as if you're getting to know a person, how much it takes energy-wise and time-wise to fully understand that person. That's how I feel about my hair. That in turn has made it a lot easier for me to return length, because I know when something's not working. I know when something's damaging my hair. I know that something will damage my hair, so I don't do it. So yeah, tip number 1 is definitely going to be learning and knowing your hair. Tip number 2 for how to retain length in your hair is going to be sticking to a regimen. And so in order to stick to that regimen, you have to find your regimen, and that comes with learning your hair. See how these things just kind of like mesh together? Once you know your hair, you want to find a routine that best fits that. For me personally, that routine is starting to change now that my hair is getting longer. I'm just noticing different things, but typically my routine in a nutshell is going to be I wash and deep condition once a week. I keep my hair moisturized throughout the week, whether that's I have to moisturize it once and refresh it once or twice throughout that week, depending on the style. I do protein treatments once a month, blase, blase, blase. I am gonna do a video on my full routine. I'm just trying to get it all together since it's changed. So it's coming, okay? I promise. Everyone's routine is different. It does take time to build that up and figure out what your regimen will be, but it's really important that you do that and then you stick. And then also with that, once you find that routine, you want to try to stay as consistent as possible. Now, because everyone's different, this may not apply to everyone, but I know for me personally, if I change up too much or if I do too much, it definitely affects my length retention. So the more consistent your routine is and the better your routine fits you, the more length that you will see over time, okay? Number 3, this is also something that a lot of people aren't that familiar with, and I know that for at least 2 years I was not, and then once I realized, it made a huge difference. The balance of moisture and strength within your hair. And when I say strength, I am specifically speaking to protein. I think a lot of people are like, oh, my hair needs to be moisturized, my hair needs to be moisturized, my hair needs to be moisturized, and they don't know. You can actually over moisturize your hair. I went through this a few years back when I was in college, and it's basically called moisture overload. I am a deep conditioner fanatic. I love deep conditioning my hair because it really benefits my hair, especially being that I'm medium to high porosity. However, you can do too much, and when this happens, basically your hair is mushy. It doesn't really hold a curl. It's just feeling too soft, which is a thing, and it actually can cause breakage. Just like dry hair can snap, hair that has been over moisturized can just not have the strength to stay together, and it can snap and or break off. So you really want to avoid that, and the way that you do that is by making sure that you have enough strength from protein in your hair. There are different ways to do this. They have protein treatments, there are deep conditioners that contain proteins, there are certain products that contain proteins, and so for me, what I've learned in order to keep that balance, so I personally have a separate set of products that I use on the first wash day of every month. These specific products have more protein than they do moisture in their ingredients, and so that allows me to keep my balance. So again, you have to kind of learn through trial and error what will work and what won't work, and when your hair needs certain things, you have to just like listen to her. So yeah, basically that tip is just to make sure that you're finding the balance between moisturization and proteinization. Strength. Find the balance with strength. Lastly, and if I had to pick one that was most important for me personally, it's definitely low manipulation and protective styling. If you've been watching me for a while, you would have probably seen that a couple years back, I learned that I was over manipulating my hair. I was doing way too much, and I wasn't retaining length because of it, and I didn't realize it until I got too busy to over manipulate my hair, and it started getting longer and longer and longer, and I was like, what have I done different? Well, I'm not changing my hair every other day. I do my hair once, I leave it like that through the week, and then I do my hair again for the next week. But I know when to kind of slow down, put her away, let her chill, and kind of do her thing. So whether it's low manipulation, where you are just doing your hair in a style like a bun, where it's not necessarily put away, but it's in a style that you're not going to mess with as much, or some people will do like the halo twist or something like that. That's called low manipulation because you're not doing your hair as much, whereas a protective style is something like braids, wigs, where your hair is completely put away, tucked away, and protected. So just balancing between those two and then actually doing my hair has definitely made a difference for me. 4 tips. Those are my 4 tips to length retention with my natural hair. If you have any questions about those, or you have tips of your own, please leave those in the comments below. I do read them and I do respond. So now that I'm done with that portion, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the actual length check. and I'm going to show you guys kind of what's going on with this thing. Chat. I'm just in a blown out bun, so I'm going to start taking that down, but I do want to let you all know, I've mentioned it in a few videos recently that I have suffered from some self-inflicted heat damage, mainly because of the length that I have retained. I've been really excited about it, and I like to do styles where I can see that length. So I've put more heat on my hair than I should have recently, which, being that I have low density fine hair, has resulted in some heat damage. It's not terrible, but it's still annoying, and I don't try to hide it or anything like that. However, I have completed my first heatless blowout. This is heatless. I did not put any heat on my hair to get my hair to this state, so I'm pretty proud about it. Alrighty, so this is she. As most of us may know, the undercut is officially grown out. I think it is definitely long enough now for me to say that it is no longer an undercut and or shaved sides. So I'm going to start there. I think it's been 2 years since I started growing this out, and like, this is insane actually. But I know how much I kept this away and just protected and just allowed it to grow and do its thing. If you have not seen my how I grew out my undercut video, I will link that down below. You guys loved that video, but I used to get a lot of questions about my undercut. So starting with the undercut. 10. Yes. Yes. Ew. Alright, so we're just gonna say 10. And I believe that is about 10 inches as well. So we're going to go ahead and say that my undercut is at 10 inches. We are getting into bundle lengths, y'all. My hair is actual bundle lengths. Let's do it one more time. At the root. It's about 11, 12 inches if I hold it in the right spot. And then I'm going to move to this section right here because this is another section that grows a little bit faster than in the middle. Oh, no, well, about 11 and a half. Yeah. So I'm going to just average that and say that this middle section is 11 and a half inches. What is that? 11. About 11 and a half. So it's actually the same. Maybe I'm getting better at trimming my hair. That should have been tip number 5, making sure you trim your hair. So if you stayed to watch me do my length check, you get the extra tip. Tip number 5, trim your hair as necessary. You don't have to do it on a schedule or anything like that. I typically, because I know my hair so well, I can literally feel when she needs to be trimmed. If I feel like it needs to be clipped, I'll clip it. If I feel like it doesn't, I won't. And I'm not scared to cut my hair at all, as we know. So I think that that also does me a lot of good because I do not hold on to damaged ends. It drives me crazy. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the front because this is pretty much the same length as the back. So we're just going to move to the front here. The front is 13 freaking inches. Ooh-wee. I'm telling y'all, we getting a bundles length. My hair is always shorter in the crown. I feel like it's like this for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. It could have to do with manipulation. It could have to do with lack of attention, and that part of your hair is dry. But I will say that I became aware of this section and I've given her more attention, and I have definitely seen some results from it. That is about 13 and a half inches. Wow. Wow. I'm going to have to go back and look at my old video because maybe I'm tripping, but I don't remember the crown of my hair being that long. That is 13. This is really hard to show. That's 13. Okay, crown. So there it is. quick summary because I wrote it down. I need to put this somewhere so that I can like have it for 6 months from now. But my undercut is now at 10 inches. The middle side section is now at 11.5 inches. The front of my hair is 12 inches, and the crown of my hair, which is the longest, what? What? Is 13 inches. I actually can't believe that. I'm going to compare this against my last video. I'm going to make you guys go watch it. So I'll link that down below if you're interested. I forgot that I did film a couple of clips so that you guys can see how my hair and this length looks in its natural curly state and then in my wash. So I'm going to go ahead and insert in a clip of my hair with no product, freshly washed right before I did kind of this heatless blowout, and then you can basically see how the length looks non-manipulated. And then I'm going to also put in a clip of my hair that is styled in a wash and go, and I believe this was day 2 of my wash and go. And y'all, by the end of next year, let's say this time next year, I just feel like I know I'm going to be so shocked but happy with the length of my hair, because I'm shocked and happy with it now. So I can only imagine another year of growth similar or better than what I experienced in this past year. So just wanted you guys to see not only my hair fully stretched, but how it looks curly as well. Now the video is over, and I will see you guys next time.